I'm hoping to be able to get a couple of more blue wishes.
Yeah.
Before the patch, because when the patch rolls over, that should put me at almost 50 pity pulls on that bitch. I should get an orange out of that one too.
Yeah. Anyways, well, everybody, welcome to the BearThoughts podcast. We go live every Wednesday at 5 o'clock your PST time here at Group B Gaming. Be sure to come by and bring your friends with you. I appreciate that. Anyways, today we're going to be talking about just whatever comes to mind, but whatever comes about. I have a few things, and Corvo, I'm sure he does too. How are you doing this evening?
I'm glad I am here and no longer in the pits of hell.
AKA your workplace.
Look, man, any job that has a flame in its damn logo, it's just telling you something.
Yeah, somebody's been like really interested. I'm gonna find out where he works at now. He said flame. The clues are putting together. Clues.
Yep. Sound is good, by the way.
Glad to hear. And of course, right now, Corvo, for anybody. Okay, so I'm gonna start real quick with the printing. Corvo right now is doing me a favor and repairing a model, which sometimes happens in 3D models where there's a bit of corruption to the model itself, and you cannot print it because I got my printer back up, which I don't know if it really was like 10 to 15 days, but the thing actually came in what I felt pretty fast. I don't know. Let's see. We have open widget. Okay, something. YouTube's not receiving enough video maintain a stream as such. Viewers will experience buffering. I hope that's not a case, but
I'm not seeing any buffering on the stream over here in YouTube, but I mean, I don't know. Won't know for sure until I see it.
I'm gonna pull it up as well on the other PC so I can just keep an eye on it myself. But I had to say I like the case the monitor screen came in with.
They send it in. It's really secured. Like, it's very, like, they don't want your shit to get fucked up.
And I appreciate that, like, a lot. And
Yeah.
it's like, it feels like, okay, I don't want to say it feels cheap, but it feels like quality. Like, right? You know, it feels like one of those things that you just, you don't think this is such a simple design that you put the monitor in here, but it feels like it is secure, like you said. It's very secure. But I did notice that the LD2H and the LD2R price difference is a huge difference, and both of them are supposed to be 2K, but yet, like, there's a huge price difference. And
you want me to tell you why?
Yes, please.
I can tell you, the H has a larger build surface than the R.
Okay. It was like $30 more. I'm like, I'm okay with that.
You have a bigger build surface than the R does.
Okay, I was wondering, like, why is it so expensive?
That's what it is.
Man, I will also say this week, for me, my other job, because I do actually work not 9 to 5, but I work at I drive around and do deliveries. They changed their app for delivery, and it sucks so bad. Oh my God. I don't know who upsold them on this app to use it for their company, but it's terrible. I mean, I can't text my wife during it. I can't text nobody while when I'm using that app. It like every now and then, at random, it will send all the texts I try to send out and within the given time or hour, all at once. Like I get like I leave my phone and my watch start vibrating like crazy. The response from the driver helper takes forever, and like I had to close the app the other day to get it to, like, I was trying to tell her, hey, I'm at the restaurant, I am here, I arrived over and over and over and over again. So I'm like, okay, I just do what I normally do. I close it out, reopen it, and press arrive. No, I go do that, and the whole thing just disappears. And they got me a new order on there. I'm like, I have that person's food, and I'm already driving to them. I need that order. And I'm like, do you need another order? No, I need that order. But what about this order? I don't care about that order. I'm on this one. Give me this one. And like they was telling me like, oh, it didn't see that you didn't accept it, so they gave it to someone else. I'm like, I was already on it, and I was already at the restaurant getting the food. How do I not accept it? But I've already accepted it. It's kind of like, and then last but not least, just it randomly crashes. It doesn't very respond to my scrolling up and down sometime on it. It's just trash, and it sucks because I have to use it because they won't go back to the old version. I'm pretty sure. So app design, yeah, app designs, good programmers, good job. You make good stuff. There's some other things about it, but I don't want to come off as a douchebag. But I don't think, let's just say, I don't think the correspondents or the people that are supposed to be assisting me are American anymore. If you catch my drift.
Yeah.
They don't live in America.
Yep.
In any capacity. So
I understand.
So, like, what the fuck? That's all I'm gonna say. Anyways, I've had that been a fun time dealing with that. Of course, gas prices going up. That was great, but now it's starting to go down again. So, has the gas price going down for y'all yet?
I think so.
Okay, so
I haven't had to get gas in the past week though.
Well, this is nice not to go.
I live 3 blocks from work, so it takes a while before I have to go get gas.
Yeah, no trip for you just yet to around our birthday, which for anybody does not know, January 20th is coming around the bend. So anybody wants to do us a nice thing, go right ahead. I don't care. Go ahead. January 20th. Mark down the calendar.
We're working on doing that. They'll need to find out, are y'all gonna do it on that day, or y'all planning to wait until that weekend to do it?
If we need to wait till the weekend, I'm sure we can. Because, well, let's see. She normally works in the weekends. But I'm sure she could probably get some PTO time. Hey, honey, can you do PTO time on the weekend for my birthday?
Oh, I know my shit into nursing school.
Yeah, she randomly. Anyways, yesterday she had she had to go to her school or college for 8 hours for a not a seminar, but for a what? Orientation.
Orientation, yeah.
I've been to orientations at college before. Never no 8-hour one before.
I ain't never been to an 8-hour one either, and I got multiple degrees, so
it's kind of ridiculous, but who am I to say otherwise? I just
anyway,
live here.
I mean, it ain't a big deal if I have to. If we can work it out, if I have to, I'll take a day or two. You know.
Yeah, but she could do PTO time, and I don't know if you can.
I can if I need to. It's not so much as whether I can get the time off. It's more like I'm trying to figure out where to put it in the budget, whether I need to budget it for that weekend or if we're doing it during the week, if I need to budget for then, you know?
Yeah, but if it's during the week, you could literally do the podcast somewhere with me. But if it's during the weekend, still the same thing, but it just won't be a podcast because it'd just be us having a fun time.
Podcast, we would have to put the podcast off one day so that it falls on that Thursday on the birthday.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
That would be fun, and also be like afterwards, like, yeah, we're gonna do maybe like a live stream, but otherwise we're going out and have some fun. I wish there was an escape room here. Like that would be fun. Like, that would be great. I saw someone this past week do an escape room for a anime in Japan. Of course, it's Japan, right? It's during anime theme, and it was for JoJo Bizarre Adventure escape room. I'm like, escape room sounds like a lot of fun. Someone needs to make one here in town, because, like,
there's a bunch of escape rooms like in Orlando when we go down there, but we never actually went to one because, well, it's only fun if you have a good group of people, you know, you and some friends. It's not really fun if it's just you. You know?
Yeah. Also, I'm pretty sure you would probably die because you need a group of people to figure out the clues, unless you're some, like, Sherlock Holmes genius.
Yep.
We do have here in Huntsville?
Anyway, so yeah, we'll talk more about that and try to get that planned.
Find out how much it is. We apparently have an escape room here in Huntsville.
Oh, that would be nice.
Yeah, that would be
But
fun.
yeah, there's that, and dude, I'm just tired. I ain't gonna lie, they're killing me, bro.
They're not giving you the comforts they once did, or they just are just things are just getting hard because of the
No,
season.
it's they've got too many things trying to go on right at the end of the year now. They
Mhm.
waited all year, now all of a sudden they've got like 3 projects and all this other shit going on. I'm like, bro, there's like gonna be nobody here next week. There's not gonna be anybody here for almost the last 2 weeks of December. How the hell you think we're gonna get all this shit done?
Oh,
You know?
they're just hoping to have all this stuff set up by the beginning of next year. I'm sure, right? They're trying to get all the stuff in there. So it's like, okay, so when the next year comes around, we have everything ready and we're going. And it's
No,
like, that's not gonna happen, Captain. Like,
no, they want this shit done before next year.
oh, that ain't gonna happen, Captain. That is just
The problem is that I have gotten them very comfortable with the fact that they can usually ask the impossible and I make the shit happen. So I blame myself.
like, when did I become a genie? I didn't remember making y'all's dreams come true.
However, I have already made one of their impossible projects happen before the end of the year.
I bet you
But I
regret
need
doing
to
that.
stop doing that shit so they can understand that normal people don't work this way. But I get into a mode when I'm at work. It's like a whole different type of functionality.
Yeah.
And it's not until I come out of it that I realize, damn it, I fucked myself again.
How many times can one man fuck themselves?
I know, right? But yeah, it's been rough, but I think I've about got it where this week and the 2 days that I only work 2 days next week. I
Yes.
work Monday and Tuesday.
I see you. My wife is like right over here just staring me down. They don't see you. I see you. They don't see you. Oh, yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, I know. It's been crazy.
But what kinds are there? She apparently pulled out, and there's apparently a couple of them that's around here.
There's one
Oh.
place, and they offer 6 different types.
6 different types.
They're an hour long, and it's $25 during the week and $27 on week.
Okay. Sounds
That's
pretty
not too
interesting.
bad.
That's for groups of 4 and over.
4 and over. A person or for entire group? Let's say that's per person. That's bank. Now the problem is reviews and how many people have done them. And
5 stars.
5 stars. Okay.
They each have their own percentage of how hard it is to get out of the room.
Well, we'll probably need like 4 stars. I'm not going elbow deep at the beginning.
It's the only one. No, it's a 5-star place.
Yeah, but like it's all of them like difficulty 5.
All of them has different percentages on how hard it is to get out.
Well, like I said, we need like a 4 out of 5.
The most popular is the psych ward.
Psych ward. Oh, that sounds like a horror
They
thing.
each have their own theme.
Okay.
The psych ward, the doctor plans to release a toxic chemical in the city. He's left clues to the location to find the toxic somewhere in the room. Find it before it spreads to the city.
Okay. Next.
There's the informant.
Informant. All right.
Yeah, you're dealing with the mafia. You gotta retrieve the mafia for the mafia does. The queen pin. She's left for her final parole hearing. You better get her before she's released. The executioner. He's got a thirst for dominance and torture. None of his prisoners ever escape. The hexadron is an alien race. And the new Atlantis. The Atlantis has begun to flood, and you've got to evacuate.
Oh, that's pretty cool. That's some pretty cool ones.
That sounds pretty neat.
Now, if the room fills up with water while doing
Oh, and the hexadron has a 40.
Okay, well, we'll
The other 2 are new.
we'll figure it out. Some of them sound interesting.
Yeah, it's rough at work right now, but it's getting better.
Okay, so I will ask this: is the football season for your kids over with?
Yes, it is. Hey, Willie.
And how did I not see Willie? It must have been like we're not refreshing it. Don't mind Corvo too much because Corvo's cameras act a little wonky, but that's all right. So, far as I'm understanding, the kids lost by 1 point or so, right?
Yeah, they basically they got cheated. And anybody that knows football knows that anytime there is a consultation between coaches and the refs, the clock should be stopped and a timeout should have been called.
Mm-hmm.
The other team basically come out without calling any timeout. Their coach did, and had a 3-minute long discussion with the refs on the field. Nobody asked for the clock to be stopped, and nobody had the clock reset. All we needed was a touchdown, and we got within maybe a yard or two from the goal line and ran out of time because the 3 minutes that we needed was run off before we got there.
And I guess no one had available timeouts, or did y'all?
Oh, no. They had plenty of timeouts. They just didn't call it.
That's on the coach's fault, I feel, at the end then, because like you should know, like every minute's precious.
Well, the thing is our coach was ranting and raving from the sideline, trying to get them to realize, hey, stop the clock, call a timeout, do something. You're wasting time, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Nah, nothing happened. They didn't do anything.
I would have ran across the field with them just chit chatting and went to the reps like, hey, y'all need to call a timeout. This is y'all killing my time. Timeout. Call it.
So, yeah, they got screwed, but they still did good. They ended up being they had the most wins of the entire league. They just didn't end up winning the championship because of the 3 minutes.
See, that's
we could have won that game had we had time because we had the play. It was good. We had 4 downs and we were like 2 yards from the goal.
well, again, like it's one thing to lose because they just did better than you, right? They did better than you. They did more accuracy. They did more plays. They were able to defend better. They were able to catch better, run better.
But it wasn't even like that. It was back and forth all night. Nobody played better than anybody, and we were in position to win. We just got screwed on time.
Yeah, and it's worse when you feel like you or when you know, I don't know, the kids can, like, if they were all able to understand, like, we just lost.
No, every one of those kids understood exactly what happened.
And it's like, we could have won if not for the adults on the field screwing them over. It's like the adults should be feeling bad right now. Like,
every one of them knows that. But we still, because of how well they did, I went ahead and, as promised, purchased Soren's game jersey so he could keep that.
mm-hmm.
And they did their award. Ceremony. Soren was given a certificate for most improved for the year, and he got his trophy. So he's happy. Very, very, very ready for next season.
Oh yeah, I bet he's like ready to learn more.
Well, I mean, he looked at me straight in my face and said, give me 2 weeks off, and then put me back on a training regiment.
Okay, get some time to have some fun a little bit. That's nice.
And then Ethan, he realized that next year will be his first year of tackle. So he's jazzed up. He is ready.
Love you.
So that's going to be interesting. And after talking to HR at work, as soon as we know more information on what the sponsors are required, I may have one of them's team sponsored by work next year.
Oh, that'd be cool. And a little something to go back into the community. It's always nice when companies localize do something nice for the kids, right? For the kids.
Yep.
I always do it for the kids.
I mean, it's not real hard to get shit out of my company when you bring Soren up because they've known him since he was 6 months old, and every one of them are like, "Oh, Soren needs it. Let me see what I can do about that." I gotta say, "Hey, I need a pair." They're like, "F you." I go, Soren needs some money for some equipment. Oh, let me see if I can get a donation for that for you. What the hell?
Soren needs a new stream setup. What? Oh, la 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 la. Anyways, Soren wants a new printer. Just a thought. Oh man.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I've been very I guess you say kind of busy this week, trying to get everything ready for the holidays and get everything paid for and get everything bought for. I have one more thing to buy for my wife and send something for my mom. And I have Christmas already taken care of because we're not buying a lot of Christmas gifts for each other this year. And of course, but one of the gifts to my mom, because I showed up several times before. So if you know, you know. If you don't, well, get to it. And so that since I haven't been able to very much leave the home, because there's just a lot of stuff apparently to do in this town, because I didn't know we even had a escape room before. But I've been watching, of course, a lot of Netflix and chilling. And that's pretty much like a lot of people's life in handbag right now, other than watching that other one off and on, watching that whole court thing going on right now. I just not putting my 2 cents out there. I just wish it would end because I'm tired of seeing it everywhere on YouTube and all the websites. I'm just so tired of it already. I just want it to be over with and be done with so life can move at the courts. But of course, I watched again the next parts of the League of Legends Arcane. Now, did you watch the rest of it?
Yes.
Okay, so let me just ask this straightforward. As of right now, what would you rate the TV show as whole?
I'd say about an 8 right now.
A good 8? Okay, so do you think the second part was better than the first part?
No, I don't.
You don't think it's better than the first part?
Nope.
Okay, so because the second part is dipped for you, but for me, it actually went up a little bit more, because, first part was good, but then this part's okay, stuff is rolling now, stuff is getting on the high end, and somebody's starting to show off their really mental side. I'm like, here we go, there's a character I know. She started falling into her character. And of course, I like some of the dynamics of some of the other characters, and I like where it's going, and it's making sense, and it's I'm having a good time with it. I don't know about you, but I'm having a good time with it. It's not like, oh my god, my show of the year.
Right.
But Netflix is okay, this is pretty good for Netflix. This right here is a good example. The Witcher, good example. This show, good example. This is where they should be taking their quality of show and running with it.
By no means am I saying it's not good. I mean, I enjoy it. I don't know. I feel like there's still some unanswered questions.
Okay, so
that I didn't like, that I felt like should have been answered.
Do you feel like because I know you didn't play the game very much, and the only reason I know about some of the lore of the game is because I actually looked into it back in the day because I was curious. Do you feel like this is one of the kind of shows that you really need to know the game's lore in order to fully take advantage of?
You will be completely lost if you don't know anything about this game.
Okay, because I heard some people say hey, I don't know nothing about this game, and I'm having a good time. And of course, they liked that people actually, for one thing, getting killed in the show. Not just hey, they could have died. Maybe. Possibly.
Right.
No, there's people dying. Also, it's not PG because, well, there's technically is a love scene in it, but you don't see nothing. But you get what's going on. Yeah, so it's not mommy, what's that? It's definitely one of those ooh, kid, close your eyes. This is not a part for you. It's not meant for you. But I'm looking forward to the last 3. I think there's going to be more than this. I think they need to go into all the areas of this universe because there's technically 6 more areas and several more different factions.
Yep.
To go through. So I think they could probably do 6 seasons of the show. But I kind of hope they expand so more people can understand what's going on. and understand like who was these characters that you maybe saw and you didn't know like what's their deal, like who are they, what they're about, and who they may end up coming to be.
Right.
But I'm having a good time with it. Now, we have to wait for Witcher to come out, which is December the 17th.
I'm a little disappointed about that because it was originally slated to be released on the 11th of November.
November.
I was looking forward to it.
Yeah.
And they changed the date, so I'm a little disappointed, but I'll still be there.
Okay, so my thoughts is they're just doing that because they're like, okay, we need something like hype to get people to watch every month. So we got Arcane, we got people right there, and then went, okay, The Witcher's in almost in the same week and the same month. So let's just move it up a month. Because I know it's done. They already said it's done. Why are we waiting?
Hell, it was done. It was done when they did their whole YouTube reveal and shit. That was months ago.
Yeah, so
it was done then. The actors didn't know that it was supposed to be revealed on the 11th at that point. They found out on the show, but
surprise,
it's been done.
Yeah, it's to me, I think just wanting to pan out their subscribers because not all their shows are doing very well. And I'm gonna go jump into that one. The Cowboy Bebop is releasing today, but the reviews for it are already not good at all. And I hate to say it, but live action anime, what's the deal?
Yeah. I don't know, man. A lot of it for me is the fact that they changed some of the appearance parts of the characters, and they changed, and some of the actors they have playing the characters really don't match to me the person they're supposed to be. So it pulls me right out of it. And yes, AJ, I agree. I don't know what they were thinking, but they were thinking that they were gonna pull everybody along to December, I think, like Grumpy was saying. But for people that's been waiting, that just kind of just made us angry.
Yeah, and if I was a vindictive kind of personality, I would be like, nope. I'll watch it. I'll watch it without subscribing. I'll find a way. Give it. You know, the internet. There's always a mean. There's a way. But I'm not, right? Whatever. But at the same time, it's like, what about the people that was waiting for Cowboy Bebop? And people are like, this show is nothing like the anime. It's like the acting and the scenes are kind of like you're watching an American cartoon. It's more cartoonized and in the acting style than taking it serious. Like, the show was serious. It wasn't goofy. It wasn't all slapstick, ha 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 ha. This is a cartoon. We could do whatever we want. Stretch Armstrong. No, this was supposed to be a serious show that was drawn in a cartoon style, right? Anime style, but it's supposed to be for adults and be presented as if you were an adult that was watching it, right? It's supposed to be mature. It's supposed to know what it is, and it was supposed to be meant for serious people that liked space odysseys and bounty hunting and the human emotion. Am I getting that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so how do you feel? Like, do you feel like they're gonna be able to come back from this? Because like they only have One Piece, and now Yu-Gi-Oh! Hakio show, which I'm kind of a huge fan of.
Yeah.
Do you think they're gonna be able to do it?
They better take a different approach, is all I can say.
Like, it's just, I've always said this, the quality of it looks nice, right? It's camera work is great. Acting's normally pretty good. But you gotta stick to the material source. It's like the people that are directing it and making it have only directed American movies or TV shows and stick to that kind of style and then totally separate themselves from the Japanese style.
What do you mean, AJ, but it's not? Can you elaborate?
Yeah, it's not. Be sure to elaborate a little bit better than that. But I would like them to like stick to the material source, right? They literally pulled in the person that wrote it, right?
I mean, it's just like, I hate to say it, but it's like what they did when they tried to make a Dragon Ball movie. That was not a Dragon Ball movie.
Just had the name on it.
What the hell was that? That was like a whole different story, just with the same characters.
Yeah, it's like they're trying to make their own universe. Like, why make a universe when people already have a preconception, which is, we talked about that before. Preconceptions, people they're sometimes accepting of a few things, but not everything. But when you start changing so much, it pulls them out of that universe that they once know, and they'll be, some people might be vindictive just because of that. But same time, when the theme of the show, the seriousness of the show is taken away, and it goes from being this like kind of serious bounty hunting, space oddity, mental problems, gambling problems, the dangers of the world, and the hunting down people and arresting them and maybe being killed and having a dark past like the Spike does. Okay. So like it's meant for adults. Like you're not supposed to be shooting for the spectrum of viewers. This is not for a spectrum. This is for a pinpoint of people that want to watch it, the fans, the hardcore fans to the light fans, and then for the adults. That's it. This is not meant for kids. It's not supposed to be, at least. But they're being goofy with it, and there's no reason to be goofy. Right? If I know I'm gonna make money, why am I gonna try to change it so I can make more money? Like,
and I mean, they've done it to both extremes. Like, I mean, they haven't made this, but this is just an example. So, guys, don't take me wrong, but it'd be like somebody going and taking The Blue Exorcist and turning it into the most serious thing in the world. There were goofy spots in The Blue Exorcist. They can go extremely to the other direction too, and I've seen them do it where you take a show that's meant to be goofy and funny and haha, and they turn it into this serious life or death, the world will end type of emotion. And I think they think, okay, so since we're going to do it in a different medium, let's try to get to other viewers that we didn't get before. So we're going to tweak it. We're going to do this, we're going to do that. And I understand wanting to get more viewers. That's money in their pocket. Of course, any corporation wants to make money. And I'm down with that, but don't do that with something that's already has a set fan base. I wouldn't say that's a good idea, because then you're okay, for every new viewer you're pulling in, you're losing your
up.
You
were losing what again? Because you broke up just as you were about to say that.
Viewers, your legacy viewers, you lose those.
And that's your guaranteed money, right? If you have something in the bag, that's your guaranteed money. Don't mess with the guaranteed money. You want to make sure you get new audience, but the new audience needs to be like the old audience, how they started, right? It started with younger or older adults or younger adults, whatever. Like I was in my teens when I saw this show, and some things went over my head because I was still a young person. But if I was even older, I would probably caught on to even more. But it was definitely not meant for no kids. Like, it's like taking Blue's Clues and turning Blue's Clues, for those who are not understanding what he's talking about Blue Exorcist, but taking the Blue's Clues cartoon show and turning into detective, or what's that? Robert Downey Jr. was in it. I talked about earlier.
Holmes.
Yeah, Sherlock Holmes. It's like turning into Sherlock Holmes. That's way too big of a gap. There's kids and there's Sherlock Holmes. Seriousness to goofiness and meant for ha-has but still get your brain thinking a little bit, but it's way too big. And I don't know they hit that big of a spectrum, but they were trying to hit a broader view of things, and I didn't appreciate that. But I'm not the main fan base of the show at all. Let me just say that out front. I am not the main fan base of Cowboy Bebop at all. I enjoyed it. I watched all of it. It was nice, but it was not my favorite. Yu Yu Hakusho, on the other hand, we're dealing with, the spirit realm. We're dealing with some death.
Yeah,
We're
I'm
dealing with
I'm a big fan of that anime too. I'm gonna be very upset if they mess that one up.
Yeah, we're dealing with like combat that's not humanly possible. We're dealing with body dysmorphia. We're dealing with like, there's a lot to the show, and it does have a very deep ground to it. So they have a lot of characters to cover, which TV show is still way better than a movie, right? I would do like, yeah, movie, don't touch the movie. Or don't touch it as a movie, touch it as a TV show. Make sure there's a series to go through. But you don't need to do screen by screen by screen or scene by scene by scene to really match with the original. But it has to feel in essence as if it was still in the same universe, still got that same fan base. And Americans, they are going after anime now, like not in a. They're not taking it serious. They're not taking it serious. I don't feel like they are. At least do you feel like Americans are taking, at least the American cinema is taking it serious?
I think that you have some people that want to preserve that whole this is what it was and let's try to keep this fan base and let's build on that. And then I think you have the people who goes, oh, this is a good idea, but we're gonna scrap some of this and do it this way because it's better.
I feel like it's like some old people that are directing it or making it, and they're still hitting for the old audience of TV shows and movies, right? They said the older generation is like, animes, what's that about? It's like, you can reach them. I know you can reach them. Anime is not out of so left field you can't understand it, but when you have a baseline to start them off as and build up the story, they can understand it without you playing dumb to them.
I love watching animes being turned into live action TV shows when it's done well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I could only imagine someone doing a really well live TV show of like Log Horizon. That would be freaking amazing.
Which we'll get to Log Horizon because that was, very nice.
But, at the same time, I also know that if they did it really terribly, it would upset me.
I just think someone else needs to try out live actions still in America, because I always say the American cinema, camera, the overall acting in a lot of ways. You could pull in some other cultures, actors to try to fill in the roles and try to weave in the characters and dynamics and whatnot. But the person needs to be on the sideline. Like, you need to make sure you pull in the original writer going, hey, don't touch that. No, you're not changing that. We need somebody to be there going, you're not touching it at all. Put in the clause. If I say no, it's not going in there. I don't care what your views on the world are. You're not messing with my stuff, and just stick to that. But they didn't do that. They kind of, the other guy, the guy that made the show, said at the beginning, he's like, hey, I tried to direct him. They didn't want to listen to me. And then he said, he's like, I'm sorry. But
so I want to bring up a topic that I feel like somebody needs to bring up. Anybody that played Dishonored, if you haven't played Death of the Outsider, I'm warning you ahead of time. Spoilers are inbound.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but this shit needs to be discussed because.
Okay. Yeah, speaking of video games and games that should probably have a TV show on their own.
I think that would be an awesome TV show, but.
Yeah, okay, so let me just ask this. If you could have a TV show of Dishonored. Dishonored is a video game for PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5.
It started on 3, it went through 4, and I think they're talking about doing another one that'll be released on 5.
Yeah, and okay, and so if you could ask, like, would you rather them make a live action or a cartoon animation like Arcane? I think Arcane would be a good design.
For me, I think they could do a live action out of Dishonored because it's not so fantastically out of the realm of things that we've already done with a similar type of environment.
Mm-hmm.
That's my honest opinion. I mean, it's not so fantastical that it can't be done. I mean, you've seen other shows have the ability to have some of the techniques that would be required to make it in it. So the ability is there. I would love for them to do a good live action. I mean, I think I know the perfect person to play Corvo Atano would be, this generation's Chuck Norris, Mr. Neo himself.
Oh yeah, and he would be. He could play anything. He just again, but
Keanu Reeves, as my wife so poignantly pointed out, Keanu Reeves is this generation's Chuck Norris. Okay, the older generation, they were all about the Chuck, dude. Our generation, we're all about the Keanu. He is that. I don't even think he plays characters anymore. I think the characters play him.
Yeah, we talked about that last podcast.
Exactly. I think that he could pretty much play just about anything and be well done at it. But yeah, so if you haven't played Death of the Outsider, like I said, spoilers are inbound.
Yeah,
this one right back here finished it the other night. And let me tell you, there is some, when you finally get to the end and all the pieces of the puzzles fit together.
I'm betting Dishonored 3 is going to be about the whole outsider becoming
holy crap. Like, so when you start playing Dishonored as Corvo Attano, you find out really quickly that the outsider is very, very particular about who he bestows his mark on.
Mm-hmm.
You find out in Death of the Outsider the reason for that. So apparently the way the outsider was made, he wasn't just born a god, he was made.
Mm-hmm.
He ended up being a god because of what they did. So 4,000 years ago in this timeline, a cult kills him and steals his name.
They take everything.
Not just name and everything. So here's the thing, the Void, the place in this Dishonored world that you go and you meet the outsider, he gives you the mark.
Basically, it's like a purgatory.
The Void is a purgatory. Okay? Souls, when you die, you're supposed to go there.
And then just
if you know your name, you dip. You go on to wherever you're supposed to go.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this cult figured out if they could create an anchor, something that died but couldn't move on, it basically left like a little gap where they could get their magical powers from. So they killed this dude, stripped him of everything he had, including his name, so pretty much left him stuck in purgatory, which is how he became a god, because when you stick him in a place where it's charged with nothing but magical energy, what do you think happens? Downside is he can't escape purgatory either. He can only...
And he's still alive.
Yeah,
he can't dive and he can't move on.
Right. So for 4,000 years, this man has been stuck here. Now, when he first got stuck there and realized he had the ability to give his mark to people to share his power, he started doing it to all kinds of people. Because he was hoping somebody was going to figure out how to either set him free or whatever.
Revenge me! Revenge me!
But the problem is all these people got this power and they went off the deep end. They either got killed because they were stupid, or they went completely evil and died.
Or became witches.
If you die with the outsider's mark, you don't move on either. You get stuck in the same place as him.
At least he won't be lonely.
So now he's stuck there listening to him bitch and moan the entire time too.
Blaming him for
everything.
Like, I become his god as well. Become his god.
They can't because they're actually dead.
By the time you get to Corvo, he has gotten very selective of who he puts the mark on.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to interest him.
And you have to be of serious interest. Now, this whole storyline, if it wasn't for him picking Corvo in the first one, then subsequently picking Emily in the second one, and their interactions changing the way some people in the game view the world, the person that actually ends it all for him would have never done it because her view would have never been changed.
Yeah,
you definitely domino effect.
You can definitely tell how big of a fan Corvo is with it because it's literally in his title of his name. So if everybody's not catching two and two here,
it's a domino effect.
Well,
so
you have to explain that the person that does eventually free him never got the mark, never accepted the mark, ever.
So you found a way without the powers, which is, I guess, a feat of itself.
he gave her abilities by taking things that she no longer had anyway.
Right. So, anyway,
she doesn't have an eye. And
a,
she doesn't have
a lot of people do not realize that that there is both a lethal and non-lethal way to end this game.
Yeah, but say, isn't it?
Name Death of the Outsider.
Of course, lethal would imply that you kill the outsider. Which you can do. Which he really don't give a shit either. Come to find out, he helps you through the whole thing, knowing that that's a possibility, but he don't give a shit. He just wants it to end. I mean, being stuck for 4,000 years with a bunch of people bitching and whining and moaning around you, you're ready to be done. You know.
I'd say like any human would be like that, but like any person with a god complex, but like I love this.
the thing is even though he had godlike abilities, he was stuck there and in pain the entire time.
Oh, so he was feeling pain.
Imagine having the.
When you have to see that part.
You have to see it, but you can see it on his face
when you finally find him.
Yeah. So anyway, you find the non-lethal way. This one did.
Yes, it's a part of a challenge.
What the non-lethal way is you have to find someone to tell him his name.
There's one problem.
The only problem is the only form of his name that exists is the mark that he puts on people, and only the dead can read it.
Okay, so narrating the story. So the mark was named?
It was his name. That was his name.
I don't know the mark's name, so...
Nobody knows. You don't even get to find out at the end of the game. Because what you do is you have to go to one of these people that are stuck there that's been bitching and blaming everything on him.
Yeah.
And there's only one person you can actually talk to.
And you have to convince that person
to tell you
that not killing him is the right thing to do because he didn't ask for any of this shit.
And what's funny is that person really wants you to kill him.
And then they have to go and tell him his name, and it's all over because he now knows his name. He can move on.
Finally moves on.
But here's the shitty part. You don't get to hear what his name is because this fucker leans over in his ear and whispers it. And you're like, say what now?
Like, wait. I'm in the story too. Let me listen.
You're like, all these 2 games, 4 DLCs later, I don't get to know his name. It literally all come down to the fact that when they killed him, they took his name on purpose so that they could have that anchor. And everything that went to shit from that point on was all because of what they did to him. But he was the blame.
Because he corrupted everybody.
He didn't corrupt shit. They killed his ass, took everything and clear. I mean, could you imagine getting killed and your name being taken and you waking up in purgatory going, what the fuck is my name?
I'm pretty sure he was just like, I need a hero. That's all he wanted. Yeah. He was just holding on to the end of the night. That's all he was doing. He's just holding on.
So
gotta be strong, gotta be fast.
it was really a revealing piece. A lot of the things that you wanted to know since the first game finally come out at the end of the Death of the Outsider. So
I'm telling you, either Dishonored 3, because there is going to be a third one, is going to be either A, how the Outsider was originally made, or B, him afterwards.
Because after he moves on, he doesn't go to the afterlife. It brings him back to life in the current time.
So
4,000 years later.
I would say they could do that, right? But they love prelogs. Like games love doing. This is a prologue to the story. You know how it ends, seeing how it all begins. Like they love doing that in the video game genre. But me, I would like. No, I like the story where it began, where my character began. I want to see what happens to him. That's my thing. I want to see how he goes. Like, crazy killer comes back to life, have all these powers, and goes, all right, it's payback time. Or he goes and like finds like maybe finds a way to go to the past and then go mess up the people that did him to the beginning and stop all this from ever happening.
Anyway, I found it very revealing, and I was just like, "Are you fucking serious?" All because the man didn't know his own name, because they took that shit from him. All this
By the
shit
way,
happened.
Envisions, if anybody has ever played that and they had just heard the name I just declared, Envisions, they suck.
And Visions do suck big time.
You say Visions? It reminds me of a. Was it? Is it another game? I think it's another. Is it Visions?
No. They are in Death of the Outsider.
That sounds. That sounds like there's another game like that has games that has Visions in it. I could be wrong here, but my brain, I could have sworn either.
Visions are basically people, but they're not people.
Anyway,
it might have been anime. I'm thinking about.
That's my Death of the Outsider rant, and it was very revealing for me, someone who has been a fan of this game for a very long time. Stop.
You mean stop like end?
No, she's pushing my head.
Oh, as if she like say some more about the game. It was so fun because she was doing it for a challenge.
It was good, and she won that challenge by exactly 1 minute and some odd seconds.
Nice, good job. I knew you had it.
No, it's funnier because at the very end, like I had gotten to the point where the Visions were, and I realized I couldn't kill them because if I killed them, it technically counts that as a kill towards a person.
Yeah,
that's how I know they're actually people. So I said, "Screw it."
I'm
sure. And I just started running.
I'm sure you would have done a lot better if you didn't stop killing yourself and Molotoving yourself and then like randomly letting your quarry die out of nowhere. Can't tell you how many times that happened. He died? When? Where? How? Reset.
This dude literally was already knocked out, put in a safe spot, come around, he's dead. The fuck?
That happened a number of times. I'm sure that would sped up a few things. But another game came out this week, and that was Halo Infinite, and a live gameplay of this.
EP was playing it.
Yes, I've got it myself, and apparently the game's launch day was really it was some kind of surprise. It was out of nowhere, and also it was apparently really well. What's the word for it? Like it was a good launch. There was no problems, no issues, and just worked. And I'm looking forward to playing it myself. What about you, Corvo? Are you a Halo fan kind of guy?
I like Halo, but I was big into it when it first came out, and I've kind of drifted away, so I can't really say if what I think about it right now.
Oh, I have something funny for you guys if you'd like.
Sure.
So you guys know how I don't like horror games.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my little sister was on the phone with me a few minutes ago. I'm sure you probably heard some of that.
Uh-huh.
And I was telling her, I don't play horror games. And she goes like, I can't believe that you're not my sister no more. You don't play horror games. And I just was like, I know you did not just get upset and all uppity on me because I don't play no horror games. And she's like, I play horror games. I was like, oh, really? She's like, yeah, I play horror games. I play the ones that are memeified. I'm like,
memeified.
That you can make memes and stuff out of, like little nightmares and stuff like that. By the way, she has seen the one that you've played, and I think she wanted to play it.
Oh.
I didn't get to see the end of that, by the way, damn it.
So
sorry.
Like, I can't believe you won't play horror games. Blah, 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 blah. I just looked at my phone. I was like, look. You have no right to tell me what I can or cannot do. You and Corvo might get along just fine because you both like horror.
She likes horror games. I'll put her in Fear. We'll see how long that shit lasts.
Yeah. I started telling her about Fear and everything. And she's like, oh, no. I do kid horror games. Never mind.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You do the young adults horrors.
Yeah, grown-up horror games are something totally different.
She's like, I'm sorry. Never mind. I'll keep my mouth shut now. I was like, yeah, you do that.
The game I play, I think it was pretty good. It's good for, maybe a little bit younger, but the teddy bear in the world is a little jacked up. But I am looking forward to Halo. But the problem is, I don't think the games will last very long. And I hate to say that. I think the whole arena style shooter games are pretty much like they're not as popular as well loved as they once were. And I would like to play the story of a Halo, and play that storyline and see how it is, because that's where I fall into. I love the story, right? Like it was always my cup of tea. But I'm not big into shooter games, and well, horror games they're for me. They're one season kind of thing. Like I play them during October, and that's it. I'm good. I don't really do good with the horror thing, and I know a lot of people loving it. But Dragon Ball Z is releasing a game that has a very well known mechanic. And I'm trying to think of the name of the game. There's a game out there where you play as a movie horror villain or a killer, and you play and you're the killer, and 4 other players are like the victims. Yes,
Dead by Daylight.
Dead by Daylight. Dragon Ball Z is doing the Dead by Daylight version, but in Dragon Ball Z universe.
I'm trying not to laugh at the fact that I did it. It took me all of 10 seconds to tell you exactly what.
Yeah, I don't know the game that well, but I watched another one of my old friends play that game so many times. I kind of got the gist of it. But yeah, you play it like as Yamcha, as the little pig, as Bulma, and some other kind of character, and people like Cell are chasing you down while you're trying to escape or make sure your allies don't get captured too. So I thought that was a pretty, like, if it's not broken, don't fix it. But it's kind of like, they're taking Dragon Ball Z and taking a little bit of a different approach at it. It's like, hey, this game was really popular, and it's also what?
I'm fine with Cell. Just don't let me see Frieza in his final form, because I'm getting the fuck out of Dodge.
I don't know, his third form always like gave me the little predator feeling to him. Yeah, long skull and things like that. That one's always like freaked me out for some reason. But then like maybe Boo, right? He turns you into candy, and you either run away as candy, but so he doesn't eat you. I don't know. I think they have a lot of potential there, right? It's like, how would it be to be a normal human in that universe going against what essentially are gods, right? Like these people can destroy literally universes in one go, not like a planet, universes, and just one little punch of the wrist, I don't know, and then try to escape for them. Like how that would feel. I don't know. They may not go at it as a deep of a dark feeling to it as Dead by Daylight, but I'm sure there's going to be some like urgency and fear behind it because you're getting hunted down by an actual player. And I think that kind of stuff really can make this game go outside of just a normal punch, kick, key blast.
I'm waiting to catch a stream on somebody doing Five Nights at Freddy, because I'm not playing the bitch, but I want to see it.
Oh man, I actually played Five Nights at Freddy, the first one, and I was good. I didn't play it on stream though, but I was good. I was like, yep, I done that, and that I said I did it, right? That's all I wanted. I just want to say I played Five Nights at Freddy, and I don't think I beat it on the most hardest difficulties. I think I played it on like its second hardest or something like that, and I was done. I'm not good with jump scares. Jump scares are what gets me because this is normal fight or flight feeling, and I will scream. So that's why
Which is why I want to see it.
But it's not actual fear to me. It's just like you just want to punch it, right? It's like coming at you, you just want to just jab it. Right, in real life, I feel like the person that was watching them, seeing a robot jumping at them, he will at least would have swung. Like, I think any person would just swung, not just let him just, yeah! Like, they just coming at him like a kid jumping off a bed, coming at you, diving, and you just want to just go, well, nope, fucker. You just want to dodge out the way. But no, he just stands there and just lets them jump at him, and it's like, what happens afterwards? Apparently, there's also a mature version of Five Nights at Freddy as well online, because there's people out there that they're weird. Yeah, I saw that and I was like, wow, they went there. It's not canon though. It's not canon.
If anybody that actually knows me, and that would be this man and Rollover and several others, when I get spooked, not a good thing.
No, she gets spooked in the game and shit dies in the entire room. Like even shit that ain't supposed to die.
Like there's a part where I got spooked by somebody following me. It's actually clipped. Someone actually clipped it for me. Thank you, Karma. Karma's awesome.
Yeah, people actually clips. Oh, so nice.
Karma clipped it, and I was like, "Oh, thank you for the follow." About times there comes one of the people in Dishonored. I'm like, I choked about it. I was like,
not the time.
What the hell?
She has very fast reaction time when spooked. Like we've played games before.
No, not Metal Gear.
Where you're toting like
Gears of War.
Gears of War.
I didn't know how to play it. They stuck me in there, and something came charging at me through a wall because I didn't expect it to come through the wall because I was supposed to be safe.
She dropped that bitch like a bad habit. I ain't never seen nobody throw her a grenade and before the grenades hit the ground, she's done unloaded an entire magazine into this fucker. He was like dead because he done been shot and then 3 grenades blew up. And I was like, holy shit, there's pro people that don't do that shit on purpose.
Speed run.
That was just instinct for her. Click, click, click.
It's like real life. Like, honey, it was dead like a minute ago. I don't care. Putting more bullets.
It terrified me.
It's a slot machine.
Exactly.
Let's see how many things it can pop out of it. I can get that. I can get that. You don't want to put anything to chance. And it's always nice to just make sure you put it down. Just be sure that if zombies ever come about, don't do that. Whole clip and one zombie is not a good idea.
I thought it went down because it didn't move, and me and Rollover walked on, and all of a sudden it came back, and I was like,
No, that was the second one. I tried to tell you there was 2.
it wasn't there before. There was nothing there. That came out from the floor.
I'm just glad I got some clips for you. I'm glad somebody doing clips for you. People were talking to me last stream. I'm like, hey, I like your clip videos. Like, we should do more of those again. Like, well, unfortunately, I don't always have people to clip there for me, and people always get sidetracked, so I don't always have a person to clip, so I can't do them.
I'm the one that clips if I'm there.
Yeah, if you're there, or Big Fat. Big Fat was one of my Big Fat. If you're watching, I miss you, bro. He joined me a couple streams ago. Yeah, he does it for me, and it's so nice. When I get clips, because I actually use those, but I don't have enough good ones. Just one of those things. And be sure, if you haven't already, sure to hit the like button. Go sure hit that right now. Be sure to share it, and leave a comment down below if you have a. Huh?
The fuck?
It's like 7 at night here, and the mail just run.
I'm gonna go check.
Okay, that's weird.
Yep.
That's a little late too, I guess. You know, hey, more hours for them, right? They get paid by the hour, or they get paid by the. I actually have no idea. I think they get paid by the.
Hey, I don't want to hear shit because they don't deserve those hours because they keep giving me the wrong fucking mail.
Yeah, I keep getting somebody by the name Love in our mailbox. I'm like, yeah, she don't live here.
No,
I ain't touching it.
We live at a specific address. Granted, the same numbers at the beginning, but the address, the last part, is not our address.
Like the name
It's a
doesn't.
different street completely.
The name doesn't even sound nothing like the street we're on.
Law. It must be a newbie. Because they're slow and unable to keep up, and also not aware to actually pay attention. But yeah, be sure to hit the like button and like that. That's so on. I'm actually looking forward to playing some Halo. I don't know if I'm gonna play it today after stream. I need to make a thumbnail. I'm gonna try and make thumbnails for these podcasts.
I gotta do. I'm gonna check my resume when we get off and see where I am on that. I need weapon materials bad.
So how's the print? I mean, not the print. The 3D model that I get you to repair for me. How's that going for us? Is that almost?
I'm checking it. It's still repairing. Whatever that line was, man, it was hell because it's still running.
Okay, so I'm gonna jump into this real quick though. Log Horizon, the 3rd and final season. Did you get to watch it?
Yeah.
Okay, so how do you feel like where they left off at? Guy kind of like the girl kind of confesses herself. He confesses his feeling for another, and then you find out who he is, and then like the whole like the moon sending people their way. that are like taking advantage of the game's mechanics. Like like this is the third season, only 12 episodes. I feel like this is a bit of like this has just begun, and it's already 3 seasons in.
Oh, did you tell
Yeah.
about the COVID shots?
So, I don't know how I feel about the reveals about who was into who.
Yeah.
Not sure about that. It's kind of like one of those things where you're expecting one thing and get another.
Yeah.
And like I can see the reason, if you understand my point.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not sure that he made the right decision.
So you're rooting for the other chick? The usual rule of thumb for me is when the main character meets a first female character, that's usually the character they end up with. Like, I don't know why, but for me, it's like 9 times out of 10. First character he meets, that's his chick. I don't know why.
Yeah, but it doesn't always work that way.
Yeah, like I said, 9 times out of 10. It's like, it's usually like Japanese, they have a rule thing. Like, once you fall for one character, you stay with that character.
I'm okay with the decision, but the part that I didn't like that caused some muddy in the water was bringing back in season 2, bringing back the chick from the tea party.
Oh yeah,
that was kind of like, fuck. Are you serious?
Yeah,
he doesn't have enough going on. I mean, he's got 2 women now that are trying to fawn over him. Let's just bring back the one that got away.
Yeah.
And put that shit in there, mix it up. And oh, by the way, this evil bitch over here, she really wants it too.
Oh yeah, it's like a partial harem. For those who don't understand what harem is.
And the thing is all through the game he talks about that one guy that leads that one guild and how much the women fawn over him. I'm like, dude, you're just as bad. The only difference is your women aren't as obvious and out in plain public. They're all doing it behind the scenes and shit, all secret. Like,
yeah, like
and all his male friends are like, dude, you're fucking clueless. Where are you?
I think
get your head out of the sand. Look around. There are women everywhere after you.
It's like a trope. I swear it's a trope. It has to be a trope at this point.
I'll tell you though, what I did love in season 2 was the fact that they made the starlet was really a dude. I love that shit. It was hilarious.
Yeah, and they continue on with that whole persona into season 3. And you always just go like, if I was a female, would I act that way? And honestly, if I was a female character in a video game and people didn't know I was a dude, I would fuck with people too. Okay? It'd just be fucking funny to me. I would have a fun time doing it. I don't give a shit. I would go into head deep and not care whether or not you were uncomfortable once you realize, wait, you're a dude. Yes, I am. You have fun? Like, who cares? I'm having fun. It's a video game. And he's all about, she's all about it. I don't know if it's one of those things where it's like, they have a different, they want to actually be, but whatever.
I will tell you though, I felt sorry for the one bad girl, because in reality, she was kind of being manipulated by what was supposed to be the second in command, but was really running the show.
Yeah.
I felt kind of sorry for her because she really, really wanted his ass bad.
Yeah, she seems like a sweet person, just a little bit off a rocker now.
Yeah.
She's the kind of girl if you meet in real life, you don't go up to and make friends with you. You kind of run away, honestly, because I've met some people like that in my past days, and it's like, they're cute. They're sweet, but they're just not balanced. Like, there's something just not right about you, honey. Like, whatever you need to do, you need to chill out, and then you end up running away because like they kind of put you off. Like, they make you uneasy. They make you uncomfortable.
I tripped out at the end of the first season where he just smacks her ass like she ain't shit in the fucking like smack. No, and she's like, oh my god. he hit me. And then instead of her getting pissed, you can see like a twinkle in her eyes. I'm like, oh shit.
Like, I'm in that kind of relationship. Oh, daddy. Oh, no, never mind. But, but you know, it's, I do feel for her. I just hope whatever she's like, I don't want her to die, right? She just seems like a pawn in this whole thing, but she does have some issues, and you know, you don't want. But I like it. It's gonna be one of those seasons that I feel like I'm gonna have to pick up the manga so I can carry on with the story. Cause
another thing that was weird about it was like how many of the people from the Tea Party that were legitimately described as great people end up on the wrong side of shit. Like, how does that shit happen?
well, we got.
I mean, look at KR's situation. I mean, he was described as being one of the nicer, more talented people in the Tea Party, but yet ends up being manipulated just like the other chick by the same fucking person. How does that happen? I mean, how do you not realize that you're being played?
I think some of them just don't care. They just want to ends to a means. Like, right, whatever gets me out of here, right? I don't care. And then other people are like, hey, I care about this world. I care about these people. I care about what's going on here. I want to get out of here, but I'm not going to do any means necessary in order to get what I need, right? Like, hey, if I was a person that's like desperate to get out and I'm like, hey, I don't care what evil thing you have to do to get me out. And I'm pretty sure that's how they're feeling about it. It's like I don't really care what happens. I don't care what she's doing. Puppetry, I don't care. Give me to do it. I don't care. I just want out. Get me out now.
I mean, what do you think about that amount of money in season 2? 80 billion gold.
And he goes, yeah, I don't need it. What? Like, not even a little bit of it? None of it? Okay, and also I don't need these buildings that I had a contract for. Yeah, don't need that either. And what I come here for, just to tell you some stuff. That's it. I'm a messenger boy at this point. What? Like, what evil genius was that?
I mean, it was really smart, though, what he did. He basically ensured that entire region couldn't be bought by any other guild or any other faction because it all went back to the server's control.
Yeah, and then the money that they needed to keep it going was too hard to come by, averagely. Even then when they got the money, it would be too hard to keep it up. So it's best just give it back to the people of the land, which
was pretty fucking smart. I mean, he kind of just sat. I mean, when you think about it, this bitch is thinking way down the line every time he comes up with a plan. His foresight is fucking stupid.
Yeah, you just wonder, like, can you meet something like that in real life? Like, how many people play life like a video game where they're playing 5D chess and like that? I just don't see it. But I'm sure there's people out there that have that kind of mentality. I would have at least been like, hey, I fought this far. Yeah, I did all those things, but could I still have something? Like, I feel like I just gave up a bunch of stuff. My time, my life, literally, my memories, my buildings that I once owned, everything. I just gave it up, and here to just tell you my plans. And the guess to get that one version of himself, the guy that was on the stage, I don't know. I don't think the two of them are connected, because I know they're twins. Like, just to send a message to him. It's like, why not just, are you at least going to earn anything out of this? And that necklace the guy was holding up, like, it's really good stats. Like, what's the stats? Why is this necklace so good? Why were there 3 bosses? Was it actually supposed to be beaten? Could you beat the boss on the stage? Questions I have, I know, but I feel like it was a little. It could have been more bountiful than just. Couldn't you just rip the paper up before? I don't. Why you to be?
I think the whole purpose was for the contract to take. He had to be with the person that was going to technically receive ownership, and that fucker was down in the bottom of that bitch, and he wasn't coming out.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so it makes sense. They didn't say that, but at least if they did, I didn't understand that. It went over my head. That's not the first time. I liked it. I have a feeling that this is going to be one of the series that's going to be a 3-season and they're not going to do a 4th or 5th because they literally would need like 2 more seasons, I feel, to wrap this up. Because you still got the villains on the moon and you got the villains on the freaking planet. You got 2 more villains, and normally a villain during a whole arc is normally what happens. Like, they do an arc for each villain. And they haven't to beat the people on the moon yet. They haven't even got there yet. And had to beat the people that are like trying to sway the land. Like, they haven't beat them people yet. Like, I don't think they could be able to do it in 1 season either. I feel like they need 2 more seasons. So I'm like, I'll just read the manga probably at this point. I don't mind reading mangas, but I don't always have the time to read them. But I guess I'm gonna have to, or find a way to read them. I would like to watch the anime, honestly. I'd like watching an anime on one monitor and like having it in dub so I don't have to read what they're saying, and like doing something on the other monitor so I can enjoy at the same time. I like that relaxing. That's why I like anime a lot more than the mangas. I could just sit down and I can glance over, look what's going on, see what's happening, and get back to what I'm doing. Because my ADD ass, I don't know if I have it or not, but I cannot just focus in all the time. But sometimes I do. Do you read manga? Like, do you ever have you picked up any mangas?
Yeah, I've read some mangas.
There's some pretty good apps out there, by the way. If you,
I'm not as big into reading mangas as I am regular books.
Yeah, that's my wife. She likes the words with no visuals.
It's not so much as the words. I don't know how to say it. Like, I like anime for that art style.
Mm-hmm.
I like books for that, and I consider books and art that art style.
Okay, so you rather let your imagination take control of what you're seeing when you're reading it than seeing.
That's one of the reasons why I love that book set that I told you about so much, is because if you ever read it and you get into it, dude, your imagination goes buck wild crazy. You can see all kinds of shit in your head.
Yeah, and then for me, I'm more of I need to visually see what's going on. I
would love to see that book set turned into an anime.
I
would love it.
And of course, I'd like to see Harry Potter's anime. I think they really could run with that. I still say to this day, Harry Potter, either from the very beginning or Harry Potter after the whole event happened. If you haven't seen Harry Potter at this point, I don't know what happened after Voldemort dies. Like, what happens after that? I would love to see that. Just put that in anime style, or put that in a manga, and then see how it goes and how many people, gravitate toward it. I think it would be easily done, and I doubt the person that wrote Harry Potter will ever be listening to this podcast. But just a thought.